any of these any recordings of me.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Are you ready for the interview?
I guess so. Yeah, like we're here. Let's make it happen.
Okay, so how do you like San Diego?
So you see, San Diego, the city or the school?
Both.
So the city, well, UC San Diego itself as a school is located in La Jolla, which is like a sub-city within San Diego County. And La Jolla is like the Beverly Hills of San Diego. So it's a really rich area. It's right next to the beach. It's really nice. Great views, great beaches. It's a beach city, La Jolla. It's a rich beach city. Now the school itself is it's a big school. It has a huge campus. It has all types of sports. It's very well rounded, and it's top three in the UC, like out of all the UCs, and it's one of the top public schools. So all around, it's a very good school.
What do you do for recreational activities?
So for recreational activities, there's a couple things you can do. Because it's San Diego, you're so close to the ocean, but at the same time, you're also close and nearby to major cities and major tourist attractions. For example, you're not that far away from Los Angeles. Given that I'm from Los Angeles, I don't have to travel up here because I already know much of it. But you could travel to Mexico if you have legal papers, and travel to Mexico and travel there, and during one of the breaks, winter break, spring break, or summer, you go down to Mexico and you explore, go to TJ or something. Also, you can go to downtown San Diego, which is the actual city. Like here in LA, we have downtown Los Angeles. It's very similar to that for those that haven't gone. It's a downtown, and there's many places you can go there to. There's museums there. There's something called Little Italy there. Like there's many different attractions that you can go. There's also all sorts of manners of like adventures and like outdoors adventures type stuff. Like you can go kayaking, you can go and join some sort of club that does camping at the school. There's many things that you can do for recreation. There's stuff on campus that you can do. We have a pool table room. There's just like rows of pool tables, and you can go in there and for $1 or $2 rent like a pool table for 3 hours with your friends. So there's many things you can do in terms of recreational. We have many gyms on campus, so you can work out if that's your sort of recreation. But again, there's like any university, any well-funded university, there's a bunch of things that are available to students that are enrolled.
What would you say about the academic life? For example, is it extremely challenging or is it possible?
Well, I mean, that's a good question, but that's so dependent on many things. For example, it's dependent on your major. Obviously, if you're one of the STEM majors, math, science, engineering, anything math and science related, physics, if you're trying to be a mathematician, those are very challenging. But not only at UC San Diego, they're challenging in many universities. They're challenging at El Camino. Classes that are math based and science based are challenging everywhere. So that's really dependent on how good of study habits you have, how good of a student you are. In terms of it also depends on what school you got into within the university. UC San Diego is divided into 6 different colleges. I don't know all of them at the top of my head. I just know that mine was 6th college. I think it just recently changed names, but there's 6 colleges, and depending on which one you get into, each college has specific college requirements. So the university itself has majors and it has departments, but then all students are divided into one of 6 colleges, and they have to meet the requirements of those specific colleges. Now, some colleges specialize in medicine. So, for example, most chemistry majors or people that are pursuing a medical degree to be a doctor or a surgeon, they go to one specific college. And there are other colleges that specialize in engineering, others in humanities and arts. There's different colleges.
All right. So, what type of student would you recommend to come here?
What kind of student
college?
definitely one that is well-rounded. UC San Diego is a very challenging environment. If you're unused to being outside, if it's an uncomfortable environment or it's a challenging environment, if you're not used to seeing different faces that are not similar to yours, it's a very it's a very white dominant school, white Asian dominant school, so there aren't necessarily many minorities there. Definitely someone that is open-minded, that is willing to learn from the many different cultures, international and other cultures that are unused to our own. Definitely someone that's academically proficient, if not successful, because it is such a challenging school. Because there are so many requirements to get in terms of colleges and university. You need to have a very rigorous academic background and academic habits in order to maintain yourself academically proficient within the university. So, there's no specific mold of a person that usually gets in. It's just usually they're all very good students. So at the very least, like a pretty high GPA, extracurriculars, well-rounded. That's very typical of UCSD students.
Thank you, sir. For your time.
Yeah, sure, man. No problem.
I definitely appreciate that.
All right, I'm just gonna walk out now.
Goodbye.
Alright, stop following me.